ॐ सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानोदयं द्वन्द्वातीतं तत्त्वस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि। हे प्रभु आनंददाता ज्ञान हमको दीजिए शीघ्र सारे दुर्गुणों को दूर हमसे कीजिए लीजिए हमको शरण में हम सदाचारी बने ब्रह्म चिंतक धर्मरक्षक वीर व्रतधारी बने। हे प्रभु निंदा किसी की हम किसी से भूल कर भी ना करे झूठ त्यागी मेल आपसे करे। हे प्रभु आनंद दाता ज्ञान हमको दीजिए प्रेम से हम गुरुजनों की नित्य ही सेवा करें दिव्य जीवन हो हमारा तेरे यश गाया करे। हे प्रभु आनंद दाता ज्ञान हमको दीजिए शीघ्र सारे दुर्गुणों को दूर हमसे कीजिए दूर हमसे कीजिए। अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम् अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्। कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं मीरा की तरह तुम बुलाते नहीं मीरा की तरह तुम बुलाते नहीं। अच्युतं केशवं राम नारायणं कृष्ण दामोदरं जानकी वल्लभम्। कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं देर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं। अच्युतं केशवं राम नारायणं कृष्ण दामोदरं जानकी वल्लभम्। कौन कहते हैं भगवान सोते नहीं माँ यशोदा के से सुलाते नहीं माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं। अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं वासुदेवं वन्दे। कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं गोपियों की तरह तुम नचाते नहीं। अच्युतं केशवं राम नारायण कृष्ण दामोदरं जानकी वल्लभम्। अच्युतं केशवं राम नारायण कृष्ण दामोदरं जानकी वल्लभ श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय। श्री चंद्र भगवान जय जय रघुवीर समर्थ। Purposely took this bhajan today because last group were discussed that unless and until you make Lord a part and parcel of your day-to-day life, he will not be pleased. You cannot, you get closer to him. So the best way is what? Whatever you do, offer it to him. And go before going to sleep, take his name. While having a bath, whenever you are alone, that is the time when you can easily tune up to the higher. And the more you tune up, the more purer in your heart you become. And see all sadhanas, whether Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Buddha, any religion take, all the rituals, the sadhanas, the penances, the tapas, the prayers, all are aimed at only one thing. What? Purity of your heart. That's all. Once you become purer, you get closer and closer to the Lord, and in that pure soul, on the pure body or pure individual, the Lord Himself reflects. Therefore, whatever the saints say, when you go to the saint Mahatmas and whatever they say, how it becomes true? अरे स्वामी जी ने बोला तुम्हारा ग्रुप अच्छा होगा, अरे ब्लेसिंग्स मिल गया, वाई? बिकॉज उनका खुद का है नहीं ना कुछ, उनसे जो कुछ शब्द आते हैं, ऑल वॉट आर द वर्ड्स कम टू हिम are as if the Lord is giving His blessing to him. And therefore, I took the bhajan to say that क्या कुछ करते रहेंगे, कुछ करते खाते पीते, वॉट एवर यू डू, क्लीनिंग, हैविंग बात, भगवान का नाम लेते जाओ, उन्हें जाने का आदत लगानी चाहिए. And then slowly love will develop. Once love develops, you'll try to go in for your sadhana. मग साधना होईल. मग 5 तास 6 तास त्याला काय मजा आहे. इट विल नॉट बी अ बर्डन. नाही तर आधा घंटा बैठने को तो फॉर ट्राई इट आउट. इफ यू ट्राई टेक अ स्मॉल जप, श्री राम जय जय राम, एंड फॉर 1 hour यू हैव टू डू योर जप वन, ठीक ही करने का है. तो 10 मिनट कैसे जाते, 15 मिनट कितना हुआ अभी तक लोगों को देखते माल के देते हो गए, उतना भी नहीं होता अपने से. क्यों? सिर्फ प्यार नहीं है. राजू तेरा जब चालू नहीं है ना?
नहीं सर.
हाँ, हाँ, चालू रखो यार. खुद के लिए मेरा उसमें कुछ नहीं है. लिफ्ट योर सेल्फ बाय योर सेल्फ फॉर योर सेल्फ. खुद के लिए निकलने का टाइम. जैसे यार जिंदगी ऐसे जाएगा, कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. सबका इतना जाते थे, करोड़ों लोगों के जाता, अपना भी जाएंगे, उसमें क्या? देन व्हाट इज डिफरेंस बिटवीन देम एंड मी? इतना आपने सी लास्ट टाइम ऑल्सो टोल्ड यू, शास्त्र कृपा झाली, गुरु कृपा झाली, नंतर ईश कृपा झाली, आत्मकृपा फक्त व्हायचे राहिले, तेवढी करा ना. ते पण तयारी आहे मानसिक, ओनली प्ले ऑफ द माइंड, बाकी कुछ नहीं है ना. ओके, ट्राई टू डू योर साधना रेगुलरली, सिंसियरली, थोड़ा करो वो, लेकिन करो. द मोर रेगुलर, सी गुरुदेव gave one example. I told you last time, I don't remember. There was a word dynamic brahmachari. His oratory, his you know what, gesture, his looks, everything was so brilliant that everyone in the brahmachari course thought that once he gets through the brahmachari course, he will shine in the society. And on the other hand, there was one more brahmachari who was quiet, बोलने को नहीं आने का, used to stammer. तो यार ये चलेंगे, चल काम चलाओ, इससे काम चला लेंगे. But when after the brahmachari course, after 6 months, 8 months, a year, say, when their results were seen, the brahmachari was quiet, and who couldn't say, had risen to a great success. and the person who was very dynamic, he remained as he was. The reason being Gurudev says that the person who was on a lower level, he did sadhana regularly, he used to get up, do his meditation, everything. And once you go through that process, automatically the Lord sees that the things are getting done through him. Okay. म्हणून आपण आपल्याला we should make ourselves available for the Lord. Get my point? Hmm. Holy Gita. 32 हो गए क्या? नहीं 32, 33, 34 है ना?
Yes, sir.
Read, read. हाँ पढ़ ना. ये स्टैंजा भी लेने का है ना?
श्लोक क्या?
श्लोक.
हाँ ठीक है, आप ले रहे श्लोक?
नहीं लेना.
अच्छा। न काङ्क्षे विजयं कृष्ण, न च राज्यं सुखानि च, किं नो राज्येन गोविन्द, किं भोगैर्जीवितेन वा, येषामर्थे काङ्क्षितं नो राज्यं भोगाः सुखानि च, त इमेव स्थिता युद्धे प्राणान् त्यक्त्वा धनानि च, आचार्या पितरः पुत्राः तथैव च पितामहाः, मातुला श्वशुरा पुत्राः श्याला सम्बन्धितस्तथाः.
Very good.
For I desire not victory, O Krishna, nor kingdom, nor pleasures. Of what avail is dominion to us, O Govinda? Of what avail are pleasures or even life itself? They, for those, they for whose sake we desire kingdom, enjoyment and pleasures, stand here in battle, having renounced life and wealth. Teachers, fathers, sons, and also grandfathers, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandsons, brothers-in-law, and other relatives. Arjuna continues his arguments to Krishna against the advisability of such a civil war between the two factions of the same royal family. A dharma hunting Arjuna is here mentally manufacturing a case for himself, justifying his cowardly retreat from the post of duty where destiny has called upon him to act. He repeats what he had said earlier because Krishna, with his pregnant silence, is criticizing Arjuna's attitude. The provocatively smiling lips of the Lord are whipping Arjuna into a sense of shame. He wants the moral support of his friend and charioteer to come to the conclusion that what he is feeling in his own mind is acceptable and just. But the endorsement and the intellectual sanction are not forthcoming from either the look of Krishna or the Lord's words.
Hmm. So many times it happens to us also. No? If we do something wrong and then we try to justify it, and justification we try to get it justified through someone who is at a senior level or a senior person, like father or mother or elders or boss, and try to say that अरे मेरा कैसा बराबर देखो. And when you are knowing it, and those serious example I can give you, study group we are doing, you cannot attend one study group. But then what when I ask you why didn't you attend the study group, what will the answer say? I'll tell you my example. When Milan came to me and I said, why did you didn't come for the study group this time when I was in 10th standard? I said, we had guests. Okay. See, I given a good reason. Next week again he comes Monday because his office was in camp. Sunday we had a group. Again while going to the office in the morning he used to come to Tushar. आज का नाही आला ग्रुपला. म्हटलं काल पाहुणे होते बरं पाहुणे होते आज का नाही आला यावेळेला का नाही आला ते म्हटलं नाही नाही रे मला अभ्यास होता होमवर्क आम्हाला तसं असेल नाही बरं तिसऱ्या दिवशी आला का नाही आला तो वाईट टू कम ग्रुप मला बरं नव्हतं बरं चौथ्यांदा आला तर मग चौथ्यांदा आला तर मग काय माझी आई ओरडली आणि मग दरवर्षी दर आठवड्याला येतोय तो लाज वाटत नाही तो बिचार इतका येतो सायकलवरनं आणि तुला सांगतोय तुला गुरुकुल तुला एवढं करता येत नाही का अच्छा आय एम ट्राईंग टू थिंक नॉट द हिज गुडनेस इज डिफरंट बट आर यू नो व्हॉट मेंटल psyche how to justify what I'm doing wrong it is I was saying lies it was evident मला जायचं कंटाळा आला त्या ग्रुपमध्ये काय ठेवलंय क्या बोर होता है क्या बड़बड़ करके क्या होने वाला है ऐसा लगता है लेकिन once you come and enter the scriptures It's so interesting that it is actually the autobiography of one's own self. And how can you get bored with your own self? Don't you want, and doesn't anybody want to know what am I? What is the exact what is the exact, uh, makeup of this apparatus? What is the mind? What is the intellect? What is the body? What are the thoughts? What is the intellect? What is the vasana? हे पाहिजे नको का माहिती आपल्या आयुष्यात आपल्याला माहित नाहीये. Like Gurudev says, someone gifted him with a radio at that time, and you'll be able to hear everything, especially the Vinaka, all the songs you'll be able to hear from Radio Ceylon. He put it on, and excepting loud noise and still nothing came. He said, "Arey yaar, you are giving me a Philips ka radio that time it was the best. You are giving me a faulty pieces. See how it is feeling. Swamiji, it is not that way. You have to switch on the transistor and tune it up to that station. When you tune it to the station, then the noise will come, and then the voice will come, and it showed it practically. Once he could see that practically, then Gurudev says it was so simple. Sometimes I used to hear news, sometimes I used to hear songs. Everything was simple. Similarly, this is the apparatus given by to us by the Lord. Until we know its manual, how are you going to unfold it? म्हणून आपल्या ग्रुपचं नाव पण काय आपलं स्टडी कुठला केला आपण मॅन्युअल ऑफ सेल्फ अनफोल्डमेंट ओके नाही दिस मॅन्युअल इफ यू डोंट नो हाऊ व्हॉट इज द यूज माझंच मन मला माहित नाहीये माझंच इंटेलेक्ट माझ्या हातात नाहीये म्हणून राजू सांगत होतो मी की आपली साधा एकदा ठरवली ना वन्स आय डिसाइड अप टू थिंग आज गुरुदेव विश से दॅट डोंट डिसाइड एनिथिंग इफ यू डिसाइड थिंक 10,000 times but once decided don't come back. He says take your own time. You take a decision, but once you have made a decision, don't come back. Then whatever come, what may. Whether you lose, you win, whatever happens, you have to stick up to your decision. Okay. Similarly, Arjuna's mentality is there that he wants Krishna to justify and to back him, saying, "Ah, yeah, what you're saying is right." But Krishna to Bhagwan ही है. He just looks at him and smiles, and that smile is making provoking him more and more to say, "अरे मैं इतना उसको बोल रहा है और ये हंस रहा है, किसको अच्छा लगेगा?" I'm trying to tell you something and you smile. And look, say, look, my divine smile. लॉक तो तेरा डिवाइस में लेके करूँ क्या मैं मेरा बोल रहा मेरे को इतना प्रॉब्लम है ना नेक्स्ट नेक्स्ट टू वर्सेस आई पढ़ना नहीं पढ़ेंगे तो देखें पहले इसको स्टैंडर्ड तो देखें
हाँ ठीक है।
हम्म,
35th वन।
हम्म,
एतान्न हन्तुमिच्छामि न तोऽपि मधुसूदन अपि
हम्म,
त्रैलोक्यराजस्य हेतो किं नु मही कृते।
हाँ ये दिव्या है क्या
है दिव्या।
मैं अभी देख रहा हाँ दिव्या कैन यू रीड
So I'll read the next one. I'll get the book from inside. So
okay
that
then who else is that can who can read I can't
I'll
see any
read
read na read
35.
hmm.
These I do not wish to kill, though they kill me, O Madhusudana, even for the sake of dominion over the three worlds. How much less for the sake of the earth? Feeling that he had not expressed his case strongly enough to Krishna to make him come to this conclusion, and assuming that it was because of this that the Lord had not given his assent to it, Arjuna decided to declare with a mock spirit of renunciation that he had so much large-heartedness in him that he would not kill his cousins even if they were to kill him. The climax came when Arjuna, with quixotic exaggeration, declared that he would not fight the war even if he were to win all the three worlds of the universe, much less so for the mere Hastinapura kinship.
hmm. he uses his last weapon तो भगवान को टाइम मैं आई डोंट वांट टू फाइट मैं कुछ भी होगा तो कुछ करने वाला ही नहीं है डू कम व्हाट में अरे अपने लोगों को कैसे मार सकते हैं हाउ कैन आई किल माय ओन ग्रैंडफादर ग्रैंडमदर ग्रैंडफादर सर यू नो व्हाट ब्रदर इन लॉ ब्रदर हाउ कैन आई किल कजन्स अरे आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू किल मेरा कुछ भी होने दो यार क्या फर्क है Now, what you are trying to do, it is our own psychology also. We are trying to show that we are something as saintly person, where it is not needed. It is not needed. When you have come in the battlefield, you have to act like a soldier, not like a coward. And don't try to be a saint there. Huh? This is the important part taught in the Gita. Okay, where you are, what role you are doing, stick up to that role. And if you are in the office, act like a boss. तिथे जाया करू नका. अरे जान दे यार, हो गया ना, next time करा क्या? That is there you have to be strict. Why did you come late? As a mother or a father, as a parent, you have to be perfectly in that role. है ना? Don't change your roles in life. As a friend, you have to be like a friend. As a parent, you have to be like a parent. As a child, you have to be like a son or daughter. You have to be like them. है ना? आपला प्रॉब्लेम काय होतो की आपण जिथे आपल्याला जे रोल दिले त्याचं उलट काय ते करत असतो. आई वडिलांचं ऐकायचं असतं. आई वडिलांनी शिकवायचं नसतं. क्या यार माता जी और पिताजी, तुमको कुछ समझता नहीं, तुमको मालूम है ब्रह्म क्या है? पूरा जिंदगी का ब्रह्म मालूम नहीं तुमको, क्या फायदा उसका? ये माँ और पिताजी को बोलने की जरूरत है? कुछ जरूरत नहीं किसे. Our thing, this is they have sacrificed their entire life for making us what we are today. हाँ, yeah, you can suggest. उसको भी टोन है. आप आज सत्संग को आ सकते हैं क्या? आपको टाइम है क्या? आ सकते हैं क्या? तो देन दे विल आल्सो विल देखेंगे, विल ट्राई. है ना? So that role, Arjuna has forgotten what role he has. He, as a soldier, he has come here to kill the enemy, to win the battle, to annihilate all the adharmic people. आणि इथे म्हणतो आता मला काय, आय डोंट वॉन्ट, इफ यू 3 वर्ड्स कैसे, देन क्या कर रहा है वो? इज ट्राइंग टू शो कृष्णा दैट देखो हाउ आई हैव, कितना मैं, व्हाट एम आई. आणि तुम्ही मला काही नको आहे, खरंच काही नको आहे मला. मग त्याला काय करायचं? मारामारी करून मिळणार काय? आपण करतो ना. सी, इट इज आर मेंटल कंडिशन इज रिफ्लेक्टेड इन एव्हरी एक्सस्टॅन्झा. आपण पण किती वेळा असंच वागतो की नाही? काही नको मला, काय करायचंय? ज्याच्या मागे काय असं माहिती का, आपला आळस असतो. when we are when we don't want to do anything, क्या करने, क्या खर्च करके पैसे मिलके भी क्या करेंगे? क्या नहीं, I don't want money, what to do? And keep it. Basically it is not money which you don't want, it is your laziness which instigates you not to do anything. Our scriptures and our Gurudev and Chinmay Mission never said that don't earn money. It says you earn lots of money, work hard, earn. Give you also enjoy and give us also as donation. Therefore, till the last breath of our life, let us work. Retire concept आयुष्यात retire करा. I am going to retire now. The person who retires now retires permanently. See, I'll tell. Sorry, Ramakant, you said something. You have said n number of examples in which people after 58, 60, and they don't. There is a vacuum created, and majority of the people die from the age of 58 to 62. Why? Because all of a sudden they are from 30, 35 years of working. All of a sudden the void is created, vacuum is created. They don't know what to do. Their thoughts are going in the wrong direction, and in that all that chaos, there is pressure created, and they pass away. Won't wait. Therefore, planning of our life is required. Like, what am I going to do? Kaitari scriptures, study the Gita, study the Ramcharitmanas, you read the one something, but keep something regularly as my sadhana, so that I, in some way or the other, I am closer to the Lord and I get attuned to Him. काहीतरी वाचा, 2 पानं वाचायला किती वेळ लागतात? 1 मिनिट पण लागत नाही. Keep, because unless until I decide that I should make good of my life, no one will help you, right? In your husband and wife, husband goes his way, wife goes her way. त्या जीवाचं फक्त म्हणाले ना त्यांनी ह्याच्यामध्ये गीत रामायणामध्ये दोन ओंडक्याचे होते दोन ओंडक्याची होते दोन
दोन
ओंडक्याची
ओंडक्याची होते गाठ
सागरात
सागरात
नाही 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 सागरात भेट दोन ओंडक्याची
सागरात
सागरात भेट एक
एक
लाट
लाट
तोडी दोन
तोडी दोघा पुन्हा नाही
पुन्हा
भेट.
नाही पुन्हा नाही गाठ. It's like two logs coming in the sea together. For a while they are together, and one wave comes and breaks that union, and then for them never to meet again. Similar is saying क्षणिक तेवी आहे बाळा मेळ माणसाचा. Similar is the conglomeration of these people or human beings. So many people in our life you have seen that they come together for a while and then disappear. I should be able to accept that. I should be able to know that. किती लोक येतात ना पण जातात निघून. आपलं आयुष्य तर आपलंच आहे ना. आपला उद्धार आपणच करायचा आहे. पुढे येईल बघ 6व्या अध्यायात. 6th chapter will come. And therefore don't leave this Gita group यार. It is too good. खूप छान आहे. Read next one.
I'll read, sir.
Yeah. Who's reading?
Archana.
Archana, read it.
निहत्य धार्तराष्ट्रान्नः का प्रीति स्यात् जनार्दन पापमेवाश्रयेदस्मान् हत्वैतान्नाततायिनः. Killing these sons of Dhritarashtra, what pleasure can be ours, O Janardana? Sin alone will be our gain by killing these felons. In spite of all that Arjuna said so far, Krishna is as silent as a sphinx. Therefore, Arjuna gives up his melodramatic expression and assumes a softer, a more appealing tone and takes the attitude of explaining in vain a serious matter to a dull witted friend. The change of strategy becomes conspicuously ludicrous when we notice Krishna's continued silence. In the first line of the stanza, he explains to Krishna that no good can arise out of killing the sons of Dhritarashtra. Still, the wooden smile of Krishna does not change, and the Pandava hero, his intelligence shattered, tries to find a cause for Krishna's attitude. Immediately, he remembers that the Kaurava brothers were behaving towards the Pandavas as felons. Ata Atatayinaha means felons, who deserve to be killed according to the Artha Shastra. Sin is only a mistake committed by a misunderstood individual ego against its own divine nature as the eternal soul. To act as the body or the mind or the intellect is not to act up to the responsibilities of a man, but it becomes an attempt to behave under the impulses of an animal. All those acts performed and motives entertained which create grosser mental impressions are thereby build stronger walls between us and our cognition of the real divine spark in ourselves are called sins. Arjuna's seemingly learned objection to killing enemies is a misinterpretation of our sacred texts, Shastra, and to have acted upon it would have been suicidal to our very culture. Therefore, Krishna refuses to show any sign, either of appreciation or criticism of Arjuna's stand. The Lord understands that his friend is raving hysterically, and the best policy is to allow a mental patient, first of all, to bring out everything in his mind and thus exhaust himself.
You see your child or son coming to you, shouting on the top of the voice that my teacher has done injustice. She has not given me proper marks. Shout. So what do you do? You neither back him nor you criticize him. You just slowly let down his all that anger come out and finish his vent. And then you ask him what happened. Similar is the case here. Here Arjuna goes on blabbering, and says what? It is yeah, what am I going to gain out of killing this sons of Dhritarashtra? And because of this killing, I will be only eligible for sins, nothing else. पापच होणार माझ्याकडनं तर हे कशाला करायला पाहिजे? Why should I go after that? Hmm. But here again, you see Krishna, how is it? He's still Shanta, still is smiling. That is the, what we have to take out is this. That whatever the situation may, the smile on the face of Krishna doesn't vanish or disappear. It ever remains. है ना नेहमी कृष्णाचा तुम्ही चेहरा बघितलाय का कधी चित्रातला का नेहमी हसतमुख असतो त्याचं त्याचं जे जे हसणं असतं ते दॅट इज समथिंग आउट ऑफ द ब्ल्यू तुम्ही काय करा तो विचार साक्षीवाने बघत असतो हा असं चालेल तू असं केलं का वा वा छान इट डझंट गेट इन्व्हॉल्ड एनिवे neither in the good nor in the bad but when you call him he comes but the problem is we don't call him है ना क्या बोल अर्चना क्या बोल रहे
Yes, sir. कुछ नहीं सर.
हाँ तेरा आवाज ये बिल्कुल तेरा आवाज है anyway. Therefore, he says what he says. Krishna refuses to show any sign either of appreciation or criticism on Arjuna's stand. The Lord understands that his friend is raving hysterically, and the best policy is to allow a mental patient to sink down and exhaust himself. तू ते बडबड बडबड किती करशील बडबड ते शांत होईल आणि असं जेव्हा शांत होईल तेव्हा मग त्याला काय ते सांगायचा आपण प्रयत्न करू ओके टेक द 37th one. Read, Divya. 37th, Divya. 37th.
Hari Om sir. Tasman.
अबे आवाज बहुत आ रहा है दिव्या
एक
हाँ
तस्मान्नार्हा वयं हन्तुं धातराष्ट्रान् स्वबान्धवान् स्वजनं हि कथं हत्वा सुखिनः स्याम माधव. Therefore, we shall not kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, our relatives. For how can we be happy by killing our own people, O Madhava? Here, Arjuna concludes his seemingly logical arguments, which have got a false look of Hindu scriptural sanction. More than deliberate blasphemers of a scripture, the unconscious misinterpreters of a sacred text are the innocent criminals who bring out the wretched downfall of its philosophy. Purring with the satisfaction of a cat in the kitchen, Arjuna in this verse is rounding up his arguments and coming to the dangerous conclusion that he should not kill the aggressors, nor face their heartless challenge. Even then, Krishna is silent. Arjuna's discomfiture makes him really quite conspicuous in his ugliness. In the second line of the stanza, he makes a personal appeal to Krishna and almost begs him to think for himself and endorse Parth's own lunatic conclusions. With the familiarity born out of his long standing friendship, Arjuna addresses his charioteer with affection as Madhava and asks him how can one come to any happiness after one has destroyed one's own kinsman. Still, Krishna remains silent.
hmm. What did you follow Divya?
That in our state of utter impulsive reactions, we don't ourselves understand what we are blabbering or what we are thinking, because in whatever mood we are or in whatever state of mind we are, we try to justify our decisions and our thinking that it is rational, just like a small child who who is throws tantrums with their parents. I want this right now. You don't know how my friends are going to tease me because I don't have that red color pencil or that pencil with an eraser behind. I mean, it looks so fancy, everyone is going to tease me. I mean, the child is going to put all the tantrums, is just going to throw tantrums just to get what it wants, without knowing that probably there is some reason, logical reason behind which the parents are not giving that particular thing for him. At that point of time, all he thinks is, "Nay, this is what is right. This what I'm thinking is only right." And because if I don't get it, that person might not, have an advantage over it. The child might even go on to say, "If I don't buy it, how will the shopkeeper sustain? How will he go and buy give food to his house people?" I mean, which is really out of the way for a child to think. So even now, Arjuna, because he doesn't want all those things, the feeling of guilt, the papa karma, or tomorrow if someone comes and tell, Are you killed your own brother? I mean, that too for a throne. I mean, how? What is this kind of such cheap act? And then I mean, later on, after everything said and done, one has to face their own selves in the mirror. So out of all those fear, the confusion, the anger, everything just coming together, Arjuna is just saying something which will try to evade, which will try to put off the war at this point of time. And Krishna, like our mothers, knowing that ये सुधरने वाला नहीं, इसको जो बोलना है बोलने दो. After he calms down, after the water stops bubbling, the clear picture will be seen. So till he wants to boil, till the bubbles are rising up, let it rise, let it evaporate, and once it's all done, it will settle down, and then like the alum separates the dust from the water, Krishna will he proceeds further to explain it to Arjuna what is dharma. So till then he is allowing it to bubble.
Very good. Very good. Perfectly good. Anyone else? कोणाला सांगायचं काय? We'll continue.
Hariom sir,
हरी हम बोल.
Anu here.
आम्ही बोल.
Sir, with all these paragraphs that we've seen
हम्म.
as to what Arjuna feels, more than what we see in children or that, we have sometimes experienced these with ourselves. We cling to some kind of a thought, and we go to our siblings, elders, and we just say the same thing ki I want to do this, and we give all sorts of justification on the same track, and we expect them to affirm the same. अरे मैं सही बोल रहा हूँ ना कि
Perfect.
हाँ तुमको समझ में आ रहा है क्या कि this
हम्म.
is the point. इसकी वजह से I am trying to say that we shouldn't do this or we should be doing this. So more of the times when children are innocent, they do have tantrums with their parents, and they do say with peer pressure, this should be done, that should be done. When we gain such rational thinking that this is due to peer pressure, but even knowingly also, we come up with good intellectual justifications for what we do, and we try to just get things out from our elders ki just say ki this is right, what I am thinking is right. So
हम्म.
we try to build some kind of a pressure to our elders, and in that point we don't want to be blamed also ki finally मैंने decision किया. We just say कि I had put these justifications, but he is the one who उसने एक मोहरा लगा दिया कि yeah,
हम्म.
now Krishna
I
has
don't want
told
to.
this. Krishna don't
हाँ.
that we should not fight. So
हम्म.
yeah,
That's
then
why I'm
this
not
is not.
fighting. Yeah,
Yes,
same thing.
that is
See,
what.
that's what
Yes,
I was trying to tell Divya also, that this is not merely a child and mother relationship. It happens with each one of us. Always we try to justify ourselves, and we want to take crutches of our elders or saints. अरे स्वामी जी ने मेरे को बोला ऐसा, so then I what to do? स्वामी जी ने बोला, आया स्वामी जी, क्या जाके पूछा उन्हें स्वामी जी को, स्वामी जी आई लव दिस गर्ल, शुड आई मैरी? तो अभी वंस यू सेड आई लव दिस गर्ल, शुड आई मैरी, तो स्वामी जी हाँ ही बोलेंगे ना. स्वामी जी ने बोला शादी करो, करके हमने शादी किया, है ना. दिस इज रॉन्ग जस्टिफिकेशन. What the actual question should we have been, should we marry? If we say yes, we'll go and marry. आप जाके पूछो कि I am in love with girl, when you are already decided to everything, then what is the point in Swami bringing Swami into sorry picture? Similar in the field of battlefield. Therefore, we see the beautiful thing we should observe for in this chapter is the reaction of Lord Krishna. He still doesn't move. Oh, Pichara, he's pleading to Madhava, Madhava, how can you feel happy after killing my kinsmen? Tell me not to kill them. But Krishna आपले शांत है, बडबड कर, काय करायचं कर. He's not in the one iota of his mood. Therefore, he's Pura Brahma, Para Brahma, त्याला काय? And he knows that very well, very, you know, काय? very well that whatever the line of Arjuna which is taken is all based on all the negativity in him is cropping up. आणि म्हणून तो तसं वागतोय. आपल्यामध्ये पण
Sir,
आपल्याकडे बोलो who's speaking?
it's also about not only Arjuna's trying to justify himself, it is also about the act of validation, seeking validation for everything.
Yeah.
So again, he wants, like, he knows that he might be confused or he is not in the correct frame of mind, but even now as elders we all want validation. हाँ मैंने बराबर किया ना रे,
Hmm.
तू बोल. I mean, we know that, I mean, if we are 100% right, we'll never go and ask anyone for validation. But when we are in the two states of mind, or when we are a little bit confused about our own thought process and the difference between right and correct, when we get stuck up there, that's when we go and see for validation.
Perfect.
Hare. So this actually chapter 1 is all about Arjuna's confusion and his validation, seeking validation, which is very, we can connect it with today's generation who are always seeking for that instant gratification and validation for everything, looking for likes and everything, comment. So this kind of validation, because they feel that confidence, otherwise their confidence goes down the drain if they're not given that kind of validation. So again, this is the similar thought process where we are always looking outside for
Right.
support rather than building support and confidence within us.
Right. Hmm. And see, we are facing this. I am facing this every day. I get a call from the client. Okay, sir, बरोबर आहे ना? हे असं असं असं. Today morning I got a call. He spoke for 30 minutes. He only explained me the cooperative society laws and everything. And I said, is it right? Then I said, it's right. हा बस तुमच्याकडे फक्त बरोबर एवढं माहिती पाहिजे होतं बस झालं. Like they said, the validation is required everywhere. So इकडे आपल्याला someone senior or someone he has to say yes. As an if there's a काय म्हणतात त्याला consolation. Wow, he has told me. Likewise, Arjuna is frantically searching for consolation, for affirmation from Lord Krishna, which is not getting it. Because once the first thought which arises in the mind goes on the wrong track, the entire process of the thought follows the same line. Therefore, Gurudev says an alert and vigilant mind is always necessary. Always observe a mind whether it is going on the right track. Always.
But
हाँ
then,
बोल.
does that mean that you don't require any, you don't want any assurance from someone you're
नहीं नहीं
seeking advice from?
नहीं
Like,
that is
or should we just go by our gut
नहीं नहीं
feeling?
नहीं 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 नहीं. What you're saying is right. You should need guidance. But what is the first sentence I told? That when you're going on the wrong track, if you're going on the right track, then there is no problem. And as I told you, if you're going and asking him, see, when you go and seek advice from Swamijis or Gurus or Sadgurus, the first step is what? You should act as they tell you. हो ना? If you go and ask him, Swamiji सांगितलं we should we marry Swamiji नको, don't marry this girl. And he said, no, we are, then what you come again marry that same girl and say, no, Swamiji सांगितलं, but I said I'll face whatever comes. Then there is no point in asking. If you have asked, like now आता इथे पण here also, see the what you are saying, the same thing is coming. Here also Arjuna is asking Krishna. He is not yet surrendered. That is, ना तू काय म्हण, I am going to and going, I am not going to for war. ऐसा नहीं बोला उसने. He's saying you tell that you don't fight, then we'll go back. And that is his faith and his what love for Lord Krishna is still there. मग देवा तू सांगितलं तर मी करेन, नाही तर मी तू म्हणशील तसं करायला तयार आहे. And this,
नाही, आणि
आपण
आयुष्यामध्ये
विचार ना, म्हणजे आपण we try to ask, but then we will do what we want to do, basically. Right?
that is wrong. That is wrong. That
That
is
is
wrong.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
एक
If we are
आयुष्यामध्ये असे
surrendering, then
कितीतरी
we have to go
प्रसंग
by that.
येतात
काय
काय?
सांग बोल.
Sorry.
आयुष्यामध्ये असे कितीतरी प्रसंग येतात की आपल्याला दोन गोष्टी ऍट अ टाइम असतात की त्यातली कुठली चूज करायची हे समजत नसतं. म्हणजे तेव्हा एक मन एक सांगत असतं आणि योग्य पाथ हा वेगळा असतो. तेव्हा गाईडन्सची खरी गरज असते आणि खरं तर कृष्णानी जर का अ, अर्जुनाला या सगळ्या लोकांसमोर आणलंच नसतं, त्यांनी दुसऱ्या कोणासमोर ठेवलं असतं, तर त्याच्या मनामध्ये हा गोंधळ उडालाच नसता. की त्यांनी दुर्योधन
सगळ्या दोन्ही सैन्यात सगळ्यात लबाड माणूस कोण आहे तर कृष्ण आहे.
हां.
एक नंबरचा लबाड
त्याच्या
माणूस आहे.
मनाची द्विधा मनस्थिती करण्यात
त्याला
कृष्णाचा मोठा हात आहे.
त्याला
हां.
गीता सांगायचंच होती, पुन्हा
हां.
काय अर्जुन काय करत नव्हता, मग त्यांनी ट्रिक केली, त्याला याला मध्ये घेऊन जावं. त्याला घेऊन मध्ये गेली की तो बरोबर त्याची फॉल्स
भीष्म, द्रोणाचार्य वगैरे यांच्यासमोर नेलं नसतं तर अर्जुन कन्फ्युज झालाच नसता.
हो, ही फेल इन द ट्रॅप.
आणि आपल्या आयुष्यामध्ये अशा कितीतरी परिस्थिती येतात गोष्टी, की आपण कन्फ्यूज याच्यामुळेच होतो, की डिअर वन आणि म्हणजे योग्य आणि काय श्रेय आणि प्रेय याच्यामध्ये अडकतो.
हो. आणि तिथे देव देव कुठे नेतो तोच मार्ग धरायला पाहिजे,
हां.
असं आहे. एनिथिंग एल्स?
No, in that case, he acted as a true friend. A true friend is one who shows the mirror. तर
या
खरं दाखवलं त्याने सिच्युएशन की हे आहे, तुला जसं वाटतंय तसं नाहीये, तू बघ जरा काय आहे म्हणून. आय थिंक ही ऍज अ सखा ही प्लेड हिज रोल ट्रूली टू
नाही
शो
तर
व्हॉट इज राईट.
ट्रू फ्रेंड नाही अर्चना. तो युद्ध करायलाच आला होता ना, युद्ध करणारच होता ना अर्जुन. अर्जुन युद्ध करायलाच
पण
आला होता. पण
तो
त्यांनी
आला
फक्त
होता
सांगितलं, की
फक्त
मग युद्ध
स्वतःच्या
करायचं, युद्ध
ही
करायचं
ऑलवेज
त्याचं
वॉज.
फर्म होतं की नाही? त्याचं फर्म होतं तेव्हा युद्ध करायचं ते. त्यांनी सांगितलं फक्त मला मध्ये सैन्य मला बघायचंय, की कुठल्या कुठल्या बाजूला काय सैन्य आहे. जर का कृष्णानी दुसऱ्या कुठल्या लोकांसमोर त्याला उभं केलं असतं, तर त्याचं डिसिजन नक्कीच बदललं नसतं. पण त्यांनी युद्ध कोणासमोर केलं, भीष्म, द्रोणाचार्य, दुर्योधन वगैरे जे सगळे त्याचे जवळचे होते त्यांच्यासमोर. त्यामुळे तो कन्फ्युज झाला, की अरेच्या मी माझ्याच माणसांशी युद्ध करणार आणि आता मला त्यांनाच मारायचंय म्हणून.
तर तेच ना,
हं.
कृष्णाला माहित होतं की हा कसा माणूस आहे. ही अर्जुना वॉज दी, आय फील आउट ऑफ दोज फाइव ही वॉज दी ओनली पर्सन हू वॉज इंटेलेक्चुअल अँड इमोशनल बोथ. He had both the qualities.
Yes,
So he
yes.
knew that little turmoil in him will bring about a confusion. So that is the reason why he took him at the right place. That's what I said. As a good friend, he took him at the right place to give him clarity. Suppose these questions would have arisen after the yuddha was over, after all these people would have died,
हं.
there would have been no meaning for this Bhagavad Gita. There would have been no meaning for what Krishna would say in म्हणजे ते कंडोलेन्स असू शकतं, काही असू आफ्टर द डेथ ऑफ somebody, it is a condolence that somebody is giving, but here it was a learning for him. When he showed a mirror to Arjuna, I feel it was a learning from him for him, and then in the true spirit he fought that he is not doing anything, everything is planned and God wants him to do this. So I feel as a true friend he acted.
Right. He is a true friend, true brother, true guide, true philosopher. Everything is the perfect, na. Krishna was just
So right
perfect.
now, the way he is listening to Arjuna and not supporting, giving him a patient ear as to why he shouldn't, fight the war and giving all those reasons. He also questions Arjuna when he says, "Okay, Madhav, let's go. I'm ready to pick up the bow and arrow, and I'm ready to, fight them." He also questions Arjuna that, "Are you going to kill your kins? Are you see that
And
is your?"
Nantar, na, that
Yeah.
is later.
So he balances, like Archana said, a true friend who shows the mirror. He is doing this also. He's showing the pros and cons of this as well as the pros and cons of that. But he's telling that you have to do what dharma is asking you to do. You have to do what dharma in that.
That will come eventually. Now
Yes.
what now? आता फक्त अर्जुना कन्फ्युजन चाललेलं आहे.
Yes.
That has to come in the next 653 stanzas. Each and
Yes.
every stanza will be the explanation for Arjuna's disease. Now we let
So
us
till here, till here
now,
in Mahabharata, I feel Lord Krishna does what he is asked for. Like only when
see,
Draupadi calls, he comes. Only
yeah.
when Draupadi asks him a question, he will answer. Arjuna asked him to take the chariot in between the two forces, he took. All this he did till here. After this, when people act according to what Krishna says. So I feel till here he followed. Okay, you want a yuddha, I am ready to do this, but I will be here, or my Sena will be on one side, I will be on one side. So you choose. So everywhere he left the choice to others till here. Then after this, he gave what is to be done. He started telling after this. So this is
नाही
what I
नाही
feel till here he is done.
afterwards काय ते आपण विल सी आफ्टरवर्ड. आता तर पुढचं गेलं नको, मग त्याची मजा जाते सगळं. आता एव्हरीवन नोज द गीता. लेट इज गो स्टेप बाय स्टेप ना. पुढचं घेऊन काय करायचं आता. आता वी आर इन टू ऑरिजिनल डिझीज नाव. So if you come to know the disease properly, you will have to give the remedy properly. So let us try to understand the Arjuna disease. काय केलं काय नाही, पुढे काय झालं, टीचरनी सांगितलं काय, ते येणारच आहे ना. इव्हेंच्युअली इज गोइंग टू कम. वाय मेक हेस्ट. आत्ता काय करायचं ते आत्ता करायचं. ओके नाही की आता त्यांनी काय सांगितलं, आता मध्ये आणलं कृष्ण, मला काय, आय डोंट वॉन्ट टू फाईट, नाव आय एम गोइंग टू किल अदर पीपल. ओ माधवा. बट स्टिल
No,
कृष्णा
and
रिमेन.
actually, as I'm visiting the doctor so frequently, I feel like any other patient. The doctor wants, क्या हो रहा है बोलो, and he lets the patient say everything. अच्छा ये भी हो रहा है, ये भी हो रहा है, ये भी हो रहा है. सब होने के बाद then he gives the solution. No, so that way the first chapter is completely about the patient's narrative. This
बस
is
बस
what
बस
I feel.
बस, परफेक्ट परफेक्ट. Read 38 and 39. Who read? Someone read and someone read. Yeah, someone chant and someone read.
I'll
Ravi.
read it.
Right, okay.
Read. Ravi, Raju read.
Ravi, you chant.
Ravi chant kar. यद्यपेतेन पश्यन्ति. हाँ बोल.
यद्यप्येतेन पश्यन्ति लोभोपहत चेतसः कुलक्षयकृतं दोषं मित्रद्रोहे च पातकं कथं न नेयमस्माभिः पापादस्मान्निवर्तितुं कुलक्षयकृतं दोषं प्रपश्यद्भिर्जनार्दन.
Very good. Read Raju.
Though these, with their intelligence clouded by greed, see no evil in the destruction of the families in the society, and no sin in their cruelty to friends. Why should not we, who clearly see evil in the destruction of the family units, learn to turn away from this sin, O Janardana? No doubt, the Kauravas, grown blind in their greed for power and wealth, cannot see the destruction of the entire social structure by this work. Their ambition has so completely clouded their intelligence and sensibility that they fail to appreciate or understand the cruelty in annihilating their own friends. But Arjuna seems to retain his reasoning capacity and can clearly foresee the chaos in which society will get buried by fraternal war. Now his arguments amounts to this: if a friend of ours in his drunkenness behaves nastily, it would be worse than drunkenness in us if we were to retaliate, for we are expected to know that our friend with his fumed up intelligence does not entertain enough discriminative awareness of what he is doing. At such moments, it would be our duty to forgive the mischief and overlook the impudence. Similarly, here, Arjuna argues, if Duryodhana and his friends are behaving as blind aggressors, should the Pandavas not retire quietly and suffer the ignominy of a defeat and consider if they are dutiful offering at the altar of peace? How far, how far this philosophy is dangerous in itself will be seen as we read more and more the passages of the Gita and come to appreciate the pitch of its philosophy, which is the very kernel of our Hindu way of living. Active resistance to evil is a central idea in the doctrine expounded by Krishna in the Gita.
I overlooked one point in the earlier stanza. What Arjuna said. Therefore, we shall not kill the sons of Dhritarashtra relatives. For how long? How can we be happy by killing our own people? Now, what he said. बघ, इथे अहंकार पण आलाय. He's taking it for granted that he's going to kill the Kauravas. कारण त्याचं एक नाव विजय पण आहे. He's known by Vijay also. He has done all the battles in his life. Therefore, he has got that sense of ego and pride. I am going to kill them only now. that is for sure. आणि ज्या वेळेला अहंकार येतो त्यावेळेला यू स्टार्ट थिंकिंग इन द रॉंग डिरेक्शन. आणि म्हणून ते पुढचं सगळं जे दिलेलं आहे, जे एक्सप्लेनेशन, ते सगळं त्या धर्तीवर चाललेलं आहे. आता ह्या पायगा पुढे. Why should not we clearly see the evil destruction of the families? And he's saying so again and again and again. You know what? Hammer into the Krishna that a killing will not work. त्याचे काही उपयोग काय नाहीये. हा. And but he's in his wrong thinking forgetting that if he doesn't fight adharma, adharma will be so powerful that it will destroy the entire world. If the people like therefore so the thinking is very important. If people like Duryodhana come to power, there will be total chaos, selfishness. That is forgetting. And it's just seeing in the आपलं पण असं होतं की we only see look up to short term benefits instead of long term benefits. शॉर्ट टर्मला बरं वाटतं ना करा त्याला काय फरक पडतोय है ना. Therefore, he says that if Duryodhana and his friends are behaving like blind aggressors, should the Pandavas also not retire quietly and suffer the ignominy? He's saying आता ते येडे आहेत पण आपण वेड्यासारखं करायचं का, आपण शाळे आहेत की नाही, मग आपण शाळेसारखं वागायचं. हे सगळं all this is the line of thinking is totally wrong, and he's trying to convince Lord Krishna about it. And Krishna is impartial. He's neither on this side nor on that side. आता आता ह्याच्यानंतरच्या स्टँडर्ड मध्ये मध्ये येणार आहे की आता पण तेवढं पर्यंत झालं. नाव ऍट द लास्ट स्टँडर्ड गाव अर्जुन से नोट हेल्प मी अँड टेल मी काय करायचं. दॅट विल सी नेक्स्ट टाइम. ओके, that is the main stanza of the first chapter.
No, it's so weird. The Mahabharata is so big. Like there have been so many incidences in the whole story, right? Like Draupadi's thing, and then they were their palace was like
Burnt.
it was put, yeah, was burnt. So many things happened, but he didn't remember all those things.
Yeah,
Like when he was at the war, because war is like towards the end, right? End of
right.
the story, kind of.
Sorry. Yeah.
But he only remembered that they are his relatives or something. But what all happened, I don't know why he didn't think of what all he faced
नाही
in
नाही
the.
you observe your mind also sometimes, Niskala.
Yeah,
Yeah, our
yeah.
mind also thinks one that's what I told you some time back. First, negative thought will see you coming to series of all negative thoughts and justifications. Therefore, the first negative thought has to be picked at the proper place. Example: your young boy sees a beautiful girl going on a road. Huh? Till the time she's going, there is no thought. The one first thought is let us speak to her, and I want her as my friend. First thought comes, and a series of thoughts, a series of incidents, follows to the last thing where she refuses, and he goes and kills her. Where was the problem? The first thought which we had picked, अपने को संबंध नहीं छोड़ो, that this series are not followed. I told you in short, but that is you can elaborate on it. But basically, that thought which comes in my mind, I should be able to, detect and sublimate or eradicate.
No, but there was no sign of revenge on his feeling, like because he as a or
नहीं
his
नहीं, कहता है
brothers,
देखो, that's what no. What I
no,
told you. See, he has mistaken his role when he has come on the battlefield. In what he has come as a preacher there,
no.
has he come
Like he
as a
accepted that he has to fight. Yeah,
yes,
like
he
he
has
knows
come
he
there
has
as a
to fight.
soldier
Yeah.
to fight against the enemies. That is his role. When
Mm.
otherwise he just sat at home. Who would have been known as Mahatma Gandhi of Mahabharata? Non-violence. What? You decide to come. You decide to fight. Everything you have decided, and last moment to backtrack. That is stupidity. Okay. घे मनाचे श्लोक. आहे अजून कोण रवी घेणार? रवी तूच घेत असतं दोन्ही.
हाँ 190.
आवाज नहीं आ रहा. रवि आवाज नहीं आ रहा.
अभी आ रहे हैं? हाँ
आ रहा है.
190 उनका था, मैं लेता हूँ,
हाँ
फिर
हाँ
192 भी लेता हूँ.
हाँ.
190 है. नभे कार्यकर्ता नभे सृष्टि भरता परेहु निपर्ता न लिंपे विवर्ता तया निर्विकल्पासि कल्पित जावे परिसंग सोडू नि सुखे रहावे.
क्या
जय
बात है.
जय रघुवीर समर्थ.
हाँ.
नवे कार्यकर्ता नवे सृष्टि भरता. जो हम सोचते हैं कि ही इज द क्रिएटर एंड सृष्टि भरता, ही इज taking care of everyone, but he's neither that. He's beyond that. परे हुन परता न लिम्पे विवर्ता. So हम हमको जो समझ में आता है कि he is the one who is created everything. He's taking care of everyone, but he is also in everything. Like I
Yeah,
think Gurudev used to mention, he has just not created things and left, and he's not out of it. He's part of it also.
yeah,
Then तया निर्विकल्पासि कल्पित जावे. Try to uh, also we cannot just understand him uh, by defining him. उसका वर्णन करने से हम वो उस वर्णन के भी पलीकड़े हैं बोलते हैं.
hmm,
एंड देन उसको उनका वर्णन करना भी मुश्किल है. We cannot even
correct.
words cannot describe or justify his existence. उसके बाद ये भी लिखा है कि he is also not बाउंडेड बाय माया.
हाँ,
एंड हमारे सब थिंकिंग के वो परे है, मतलब तो सर्व कल्पनांच्या पलीकडे आहे. आणि
बरोबर.
उसको अगर समझना है तो वी कैन अंडरस्टँड हिम थ्रू लव, भक्ती.
Hmm.
अँड
And what we have to leave, काय सोडायचं म्हणून सांगितले?
परिसंग सोडून सुखे राहावे. विषयांचा
And
संग, हा, अटॅचमेंट,
attachment.
अटॅचमेंट, हा, अटॅचमेंट.
Hmm,
दॅट वाज 190. हा,
hmm,
191 हो चुका है.
hmm,
बी 192. मनाना कळेना ढळे रूप ज्याचे, दुजे वीण ते ध्यान सर्वोत्तमाचे, तया खूण ते हीन दृष्टांत पाहे, तिथे संग निसंग दोनी न साहे. जय जय रघुवीर समर्थ. वो मना न कळे ना ढळे रूप ज्याचे, मतलब वो कभी बदलता
you
नहीं है.
cannot,
इट
no, no,
कैनॉट, हाँ, यू
you
कैनॉट
cannot grasp
अंडरस्टैंड.
the form of,
हाँ,
understand the form by your mind.
करेक्ट, करेक्ट.
हाँ,
ऐसा हमारे मन को वो समझ में नहीं आएगा. दुजे
हाँ,
विण ते ध्यान सर्वोत्तमाचे, वो सर्वोत्तम है. ही इज द
हाँ,
बेस्ट अमॉन्ग एवरीथिंग.
hmm,
उनका ध्यान हम और डीपर वी शुड बी डूइंग मोर एंड मोर थिंकिंग ऑन दैट.
hmm,
खुणे तया खूर्ण ते हीन दृष्टांत पाहे. अ, उसको हम स्वरूप, मतलब हम अगर उसको डिस्क्राइब करने जाएंगे तो उससे भी वो समझ में नहीं आएगा हमें.
hmm,
वो इनकम्प्लीट रहेगा, दृष्टांत अपूर्ण रहेगा. तेथे संग निस्संग दोन्ही नसा आहे. वो देर इज नो ड्युअलिटी. दैट्स व्हाट आई अंडरस्टैंड हियर.
hmm, hmm.
करेक्ट सर.
Is not attached nor is
हाँ,
he,
हाँ, इज
हाँ,
नॉट, हाँ, डिटैच्ड. ओके,
attached, detached, not attached
ओके.
to anybody. Hmm. आणि त्यामुळे ना एकमेव is one, one without the second.
हाँ, वन विदाउट अ सेकंड, राइट.
है ना, काहीच नाही त्याच्याकडे. पण तुम्ही if you go really see the, here the sounds cosmos and everything around you, everything whatever there is there is him only in that form. The wall is what is the, this is the wall in form of the, I mean, manifestation of the Lord. सगळीकडे तोच आहे. सर्व चराचरी ईश्वरच भरलाय. We have not got that vision to see it, and nor we have got that the intellectual grasp it. So therefore, he says beyond your body, mind, and intellect. पण फॉर शुअर हे सगळं जे काय चाललेलं आहे जगतात जगतात ते त्याच्याच इच्छा, सत्तेने आणि इच्छेने चाललेलं आहे. वृक्षाचे पानं हाले त्याची सत्ता, म्हटलंय राहिली अनंता कोठे मग कोठे. सब उसके जैसे चलता है. एवरीथिंग इज सो परफेक्टली प्लान ना, so perfectly planned, and we think we are doing it. Your breath is you know what, regulated by him. Your death is regulated by him. He knows your last breath is, and when you are going to die. So everything is already planned. सगळं व्यवस्थित ठरलेलं आहे. आणि आपण उगीच त्याच्या वाटतं आपल्या वाटतं आपण करतोय. काही करत नाहीये. सगळं जमून येतं बाबा. आपण काय करायचं मग? आपण आपलं कर्तव्य करायचं. बेसिकली ही सेइंग दॅट आय हॅव गिव्हन यू दिस बॉडी and this life so that I wanted you to love me. Or you can in the Vedantic language, I wanted you to understand me, the divinity. Without knowledge, devotion is futile. Without devotion, knowledge is futile. Devotion and knowledge go hand in hand. ज्ञान पण पाहिजे आणि भक्ती पण पाहिजे, भक्ती पण पाहिजे, ज्ञान पण पाहिजे, आणि दोन्ही करायचं असेल तर कर्म पण पाहिजे. You can segregate everything. They all go as a part of a unit. It's like a cricket team which has bowlers also, which has batsmen also, which has fielders also. There is wicket keeper also. फक्त बॉलरची टीम घेऊन चालेल का? फक्त बॅट्समन घेऊन चालेल का? तसंच फक्त ज्ञान चालेल का? फक्त कर्म चालेल का? फक्त भक्ती चालेल का? या तिन्ही एकत्रच यायला पाहिजे, तेव्हाच आपलं सक्सेसफुल. असं आहे. 190 संपायला आलं. 193 दिव्या विल टेक. हा
No,
दिव्या,
mine. I am
हा
193.
यू आर देअर स्टील. हा टेक टेक.
हाँ. नभे जाणता नेणता देवराणा, नये वर्णिता वेदशास्त्रा पुराणा, नव्हे दृश्य अदृश्य साक्षी तयाचा, श्रुती नेणती नेणती अंत त्याचा. This stanza is something like Hiranyakashipu's bunno, neither inside nor outside, like that. It speaks. The nave janata nenata devarana, like God is supreme. He is knows everything, and he still remains ignorant about it also. Like we are seeing in now in Krishna's case, that he knows what is going to happen, but he's quiet till the right time comes to execute his plan. So you can say that he's the knower of everything, and still like he doesn't express till the time it is needed. Then naye varnita veda shastra purana, he cannot be described by any like even Vedas, Shastras, and all fail to describe. The words are not enough to describe the Supreme God. Nave adrishya adrishya sakshi tayacha. He is visible, invisible. Nobody can give a proof of it. Like whatever people speak also will be very. They'll fall short of words to describe His glory. And Shruti nenati nenati antatyacha. There is no end to the Supreme. This is what I get from this stanza, what I understand of this stanza.
I read it out. जाणता म्हणवत नाही, नेणता म्हणवत नाही, असा हा देवराणा, सर्वांचा देव, आदिनाथ देवदेव. वेदशास्त्र पुराणाने त्याचे वर्णन करताना हात टिकले आहेत. दिसतो म्हणावा तर दृश्य त्याला येत नाही. अदृश्य म्हणावा तर त्याच्या इतकं उघडा तोच आहे. दृश्य नाही, अदृश्य पण नाही. अदृश्य दृश्याचा साक्षी पण तोच आहे, पण तो पण नाहीये. कारण साक्षी तो मनाची वृत्ती आहे, व तो वृत्त्यातीत आहे. वेदाला त्याचा अंत पार लागत नाही. ज्यादा कन्फ्युजिंग स्टॅन्ड आहे.
बहुत confusing है सर.
वो बोलता है ये भी नहीं है वो भी नहीं है. अभी नेक्स्ट स्टैंजा जो लेंगे ना, कौन लेने वाला है?
मैं वही बोली हूँ, हिरण्यकशिपु के वरदान जैसे लगा मुझको ये स्टैंजा.
हाँ हाँ,
दिन में नहीं, रात में नहीं, अंदर नहीं, बाहर नहीं,
बाहर
वैसा
में.
वाला.
हाँ. तो अभी नेक्स्ट स्टैंजा है ना, उसको क्लेरिफाई करेगा. अभी इतना सुनो, ये सब जगह अर्जुना के जैसे अपना स्थिति करके लाया है, रखा है. अर्जुना जिधर भी मुनाजे श्लोक में भी. अभी नेक्स्ट टाइम पूरा क्लियर हो जाएगा. 194 एंड 190. 194 तो 190 एक्सप्लेनेशन है, तो 194 दिव्या लेगी. हाँ, एंड 195 राजू लेगा. हाँ, देखेंगे. विल टेक द प्लेज.
त्याच्या आधी विजूसाठी विवाह दिनमिदं म्हणूयात ना.
मला पाठ नाही येत त्याला. तुला पाठ येतं म्हण. म्हण ना.
हरिओम विजू. बोथ ऑफ यू.
हरिओम विजू का माझे हो म्हणू दे. दृश्य अदृश्य व्हायचं.
अदृश्य झाली ती.
Thank you.
She's fully shy now.
दिनमिदं भवतु हर्षदं मङ्गलं तथा वाञ्छसीमदम् प्रतिदिनं नवं प्रेमवर्धतां शतगुणं कुलं सदा हि मोदतां लोकसेवया देवपूजनं गृहस्थजीवनं भवतु मोक्षदम् गृहस्थजीवनं भवतु मोक्षदम्. Happy anniversary, Viju, from all of us.
Thank you so much. I think this is the best gift I've got, reminding
Happy
of
anniversary.
Swamiji's song and all the values of a happy married life. Thank you so much.
Great. Now go and have enjoy a party in the evening. कल का
सर, कल
कल का
आपने
धूप
बोला ना सिक्स जस्ट 16, तो आपका 25 के बाद पार्टी, अभी 16 years।
नहीं 16 में अच्छा रहता है. षोडश कला है ना. सब कला एक
धोक्याचा
एक सब
धोक्याचा
सब
वरीस खत्म हो गया रे अभी.
नहीं सगळे
हाँ,
16
16 वरीस धोक्याचा अभी खत्म हो गया, अभी
हाँ
एंजॉय कर सकते हैं.
हाँ अभी कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है ना. चलो ओके टेक शांति पाठ. ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम. हैव पेशेंस. नेक्स्ट ग्रुप के बाद यू विल फाइंड इट सो इंटरेस्टिंग गीता ना. यू विल नॉट लीव इट. आता अर्जुन डिझीज चालले म्हणून जरा थोडं थोडं हे होते. पण ते अर्जुन डिसीज झालं ना. डिसीज झाली की त्रास होतोच ना रे. इफ यू आर नॉट एट इज दॅट इज अ डिसीज. तर त्रास होणारच आहे ना. मग मजा येणारच नाही. मग त्याचा रोग कसं काढतात ते करायला मजा आहे. हा ठीक विजय दिव्या. स्टँड.
We stand as one family, bound to each other with love and respect. We serve as an army, courageous and disciplined, ever ready to fight against all low tendencies and false values within and without us. We live honestly, the noble life of sacrifice and service, producing more than what we consume and giving more than what we take. We seek the Lord's grace to keep us
To
on the
keep us
path
on the
of
path of
virtue,
virtue,
courage, and wisdom. May thy grace and blessings
the
flow through us to the world around
world
us.
around us.
We believe that the
Look at
service of our
this.
country is the service of the Lord
Think
of
of the
Lords,
power of God.
and devotion to the people is the devotion to the Supreme
Worship
Self.
the Supreme
We know our responsibilities.
Authority.
Give us the ability and courage to fulfill them. Om Tat Sat.
आणि संपायच्या आधी आय जस्ट नो सॉरी माझ्याकडे दिसत नव्हतं.